gang. Don't mind me, I'm doing some research and prep for that series I'm doing about straight builds. And I figured, why not stream it? Why not? More or less, I'm going through every single series category. Series category is, of course, one of these that has various series in it. I mean, I'm in a public lobby right now, so yeah, go nuts. I'm in someone else's public lobby. I'm going to pick one of these and assess everything in it and see what I can figure out. I have so far done Origin, Thunderbolt. I don't know what to tackle next. I don't know if I should go in order. Kind of don't want to because I don't have some stuff at the end that's kind of big wet farts. Like, Requiem and Quux only have one unit each. Not really worth doing those separate. All the SDs can probably be done together. Freedom, I'll keep an eye out for you. Let's see, what do I want to start with? Alright. I was thinking about Wing. Wing is quite a few units, but it's still less than this disaster. This is what I'm dreading the most. The 0079 suite is one I don't want to do, because there's a million fucking units in here. But, Wing's not terrible. I could do Wing. Wing is pretty cool. Yeah, okay. Well, let's try a Wing. Let's go Wing. So Wing on this waltz. Pretty much I'm going to stock up on everything I don't have at level 1. TG2 doesn't exist outside of Master Grade, that's fine. Ultron, Death Scythe. Sandrock on this waltz, which I have been at level 1. Serpents. Yeah, it's going to come with a bazooka still. For some reason, that comes with the bazooka, even though it never had the bazooka. Whatever. Schlong EW, yeah, sure. TG3. Proto Zero, which apparently I don't fucking have any of. That's funny. High grade. I mean, I cleaned out my stock a while ago, so not as many units as I thought, honestly. That's not good. Game was struggling for a second. I might be getting close to my part limit, too. Let's take a peek. Not terrible. Not terrible. My man, I've never been able to pick a favorite, unfortunately. I just don't... I like everything. I like everything in equal amount. Some things I might like more than others, but I have never been able to pin down a favorite. I could probably, mathematically, if I really wanted to, go into series by series and kind of like... not tier list them out, but like tournament them out. And try to figure out what I actually like more than others, but I don't know. Like, I like Death Scythe TV more than Death Scythe Endless Waltz. That seems like a no-brainer to me. But I can't say that one or the other is my favorite. Same thing, man. I don't think anything's not worth it. Alright, so Death Scythe was the first alphabetically. We're gonna go by alphabetical and level. That way I'm guaranteed to do level 1 shit. Actually, no, alphabetical is Ultron. So we're going to equip all parts with armaments. I'm going to be assessing these units as they come base. Do you have a favorite? Sound off whatever your favorites are. Let's see. You have a backpack, right? Yeah, you totally do. No ranged weapon, but you have the trident, which by default is just a regular twin blade. Okay. No shield. EXs. No EXs. Try burning's pretty good. Try burning more than regular build burning, you'd say? I'd respect the choice either way. No EXs, none of that. But it does have some options. Okay. If I remember correctly, Dragon Fang is kind of cheeks. The range on it is not good. Let's check it out and see what it's got. Also, we'll check cooldowns too. Let's see. So Twin Blade's a Twin Blade. Nothing wrong there, it's just good. Okay. No range attacks, of course. Dragon Fang. Oh no, it's a flamethrower. It's not even a stretchy. And the cooldown is shit. What kind of a Vulcan do we have? Regular old Vulcan, nothing crazy. And then the SD is the SD. I can respect someone who likes Sekai. Little Gremlin has passion. Also, does the color on this look wrong? Like, why are the arms more gray than green? What's wrong with this thing? Self-destruct is crap. We don't have to... They are mana, but I want to go through every single one and see what works. Because somebody paid me to do so. That's why I currently have a video up about Origin and Thunderbolt. So even if you do get within range, the cooldown is horrible. I guess you can hold it? I'm not counting builder's parts now. Builder's parts aren't part of a straight build that comes with a kit. Whatever the auto build decides to put on is what I'm counting. Which includes weapons that may not come with the kit, but belong to the kit. Prominence damage. That means it's damage over time. I could do that too. I don't know how I'd rate them. Maybe just like cosmetic creativity. I could try that. Wow, it didn't even tick for long. It's also based on max HP, so, or not max HP, current HP percent. So as it deals damage, it's going to be dealing less damage. It's not good. It also doesn't last long enough to really make those ticks matter. Yep. Yucky, yuck, yuck. Okay, so Ultron just isn't that good. Let me actually take this opportunity to record a snippet about it, and then I'll just upload that, and we're gonna make this a productive stream too. Not just for testing, I'm gonna record my little snippets too. Yeah, but percentage base would be good mana if it wasn't current percentage. If it was max percentage, we'd be cooking. But current percentage means it's always going to consistently do less damage, and it can't even kill. Shotgun spam is kind of the thing in this. But that's a builder's part, nothing comes with it, and I don't use that anyway. So let's get back in here. Ultron Gundam Endless Waltz version, Ultron Gundam Endless Waltz version. Let's get some dudes in. As far as I'm aware, the burn value is static because it's percentage base. I can improve the power of the attack, but not the burn. You know what? Fuck it, let's figure that out now. Turn off Invulnerable, get a fresh dude. 89, 88. Okay, so 89 from base that ticks down. And my actual base power of it is... 18. Okay. Oh, come on. That range is horrible, too. I never even used its flamethrowers in the OVA. What are we doing? $18, yeah. 18 with an 89 start. That should be range base. So if I just slap whatever the biggest level range weapon I have is on this thing, we should go from 18 to something else. No, it's melee based. Okay. Really? Oh, that's fucking stupid. Remove. What's the highest level melee weapon I got? Just so we can get like the max change. Yeah, sure, martial art, whatever. $613. Okay. So it is melee based. Off. Dudes. 89. Actually, 84, even less. Because he took more damage from the initial attack, the percentage base tick down started less. Didn't even start at 90 this time, because it had less HP to start from the initial hit. And it doesn't stack on itself, so even if you hold it down for full duration, you're only getting kicks from the last instance of it applying. Yeah, I mean, that kind of sounds like Break or Die. I have thought about wheels for stuff in the past, but we'll get there someday. Meanwhile... Okay, so what do I want to use? This? Or this? There are not really. Not for debuff values. Debuff values are debuff values. Yeah, no, there's no saving this kit. This kit's ass. Let me reapply all the defaults and I'll record something quick. I love this smart build so much. It's so useful. A tiny amount of extra damage that doesn't even do anything. Like... Yeah, it scales up with their max HP, so if they have more HP like a boss, it'll do more damage. But it's not going to do more damage than you just hitting them. Prominence damage is just not good in this. Ultron Gundam Endless Waltz version is not great. So by default, the only weapon you have is a Twin Beam Trident, which is fine. I mean, it's a Twin Blade. It's got all the advantages of being a Twin Blade. But its actual skills it comes with leave a lot to be desired. You got the standard for Wing Gundams, you have the Vulcan, you have the horrible Self-Destruct. Which, yes, every time you use it, you die. The range is also absolute dog water. It scales off of melee, and it's a trap option for some godforsaken reason. The thing that would make Ultron unique, its Dragon Fang, is not something you want to use. You get a little itty bit of a stretchy arm that shoots out a flamethrower that you can hold for a couple seconds. The cooldown on it is tragic. You're looking at a good 15 seconds to come back. The range on it as well is barely anything to talk about. When it does apply, there is a decent hit of damage on contact with the arm, and then it applies prominence damage on the fire. Also, you can just do that. That arm does not have a hitbox, only the hand does. That prominence damage is a burn effect. What that means is it's going to tick down for a couple seconds based on their current HP, which is also bad. Because if it was max HP, at least it'd be like a demi effect, that you could always deal consistent damage, but the sheer act of it dealing damage is reducing the damage it's dealing as it goes. And even if you have a stronger initial hit, you're dealing less tick damage because you reduce their current HP to a lower amount. I guess having two of them means you can alternate the cooldowns? But when I can get more damage out of just smacking them once, I don't see the point. Also, the color's weird. Why are its arms more gray than green? Ultron's not it. Okay, who's next? The wing video is going to be huge, goddamn. If that was 2 minutes. I did like 5 kits for Thunderbolt and it ended up being like 10-12 minutes. Yeah, ironically, like, Dragon has barely better. Well, Cooper Finley, what is your favorite Katoki redesign? Like, no, Manor, you're not wrong. Every other game in the world that has Ultron Endless Waltz, those arms go for a fucking mile. No, I can see that. And it's supposed to be like a long-range melee knockdown. In most action games, the downside of the arms is that if you miss, they're extended out and have to come back, and they're usually only a one-hit knockdown, so you can't, like, combo into them. That's how it works in most of the verses, too. In this, it's just like 3 fucking feet. Alright, next one's Death Scythe TV. Death Scythe TV is actually really cool. I dig this. No gun, but we have the Scythe, we have the Buster Shield, Hyper Jammers and EX, no burst. We got Vulcan and Machine Cannon, which I actually want to put on X and square. Buster Shield, then Thruster, Beam Scythe. Having 2 thrusters doesn't do anything, but it's a really, really cool effect. Why is its crotch blue and not silver? Huh. Okay, so the Scythe is just an axe, with everything an axe brings, which is fine, it's great. The Buster Shield's like a railgun, if I remember right. It's just a super fast single hit. Yeah. Not a stun, but just womp, womp, womp. What level is this Scythe? Didn't I just buy one from the shop? Why am I doing like 40k damage? What the fuck? Oh. Yeah, no, put that one on. That's better. Okay. 490, and the railguns, you know, so it's more than a standard hit. It's just a nice long range. The axe option is just the one in the pants, which is just an axe combo. It's fine. You can get a quick pop-up if you want it. That's it. That's the most useful thing about it, is that. An instant pop-up. And then Falcons and machine cannons that you can use together. Machine cannons of moving kinds is actually pretty nice. Pretty sure Heavy Arms and Wing both have the same ones. And then you have Thruster. Thruster is fairly unique because it's a buff that's an option. It does not take any EX bar. And it just gets you just like a really nice movement speed buff. Not just movement speed, but you also get reaction speed. So it's all the best parts of like a Red Awakening without the attack boost. So you're faster to move around, but you're also faster to hit. And the thing lasts forever. Like, look at that gauge. That ain't 30 seconds. And it's tied to an option. And you can still use a Hyper Trance with it, because it's not a Hyper Trance. Like, it's really cool. I'm a little bummed it took them to a DLC to come out with something like that, but... And then Hyper Jammer's Hyper Jammer, like... As I've proven in Break or Die, this is a cheat button. If you're playing any difficulty you're not ready for, this will keep you alive. Just the ability not to be targeted is good. I want to do the down. I want to do the downswing. Why am I not doing the... There it is. Okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's not going to get through everything, because it kind of lacks versatility. But you have good range, but you don't have a ranged weapon, so those are never really going to be too strong, unfortunately. They're useful for building meter and for getting people off you, but they're never going to have decent power because you don't have a gun. Buster Shield's going to be the same problem. And the axe option is kind of nothing. So, like, if you just want to go full hog in on melee and shit, whatever, you can do a lot worse. Especially when you get your hit count up with those together. And then get that hit bonus for the bonus damage. It's okay. It's okay. I don't think Death Life TV is groundbreaking, but it's solid. It's going to make you play a very specific way, though. Your range options are just that. They're an option. They're not going to be anything to be relied on. Alright. Take a sip. So Death Life TV, I don't think I'm gonna need another target. Yeah, that'll be fine. Actually, it'll be cute if I do too. Depth Scythe Gundam, the TV version, is okay, actually, surprisingly. This was added in one of the last DLCs, and it does a lot of surprising things. Now, gear-wise, you don't have a gun, you only have the Beam Scythe, which is fine. But it does mean that some of these range options you have, like the Head Vulcan and the Machine Cannon, are never going to get any stronger than they are. And while they make a really good gauge builder, that's pretty much all they're going to be without any kind of stun built in. The beam scythe itself is just an axe, which everything an axe comes with, which is fine. Axes are great. One-handed axes, one of the better one-hands you could run. And you get the wonderful charge attack off them, too. The axe option, though, is a little less good. It's the scythe that's on your butt right there. It's just a basic axe combo, but if you hold it, you get the pop-up. Frankly, that's all you should be using it for, is just a quick pop-up. Boop. And then the Buster Shield is a railgun type skill, which is a really, really fast, decently hitting disruptor. More of a get-off-of-me kind of thing. Since Deathscythe doesn't have a gun, it's sadly never going to get any stronger. Now, Deathscythe TV does have something pretty unique, and that is the thruster skill that comes on both its arms. It is an option buff, something really unheard of. Using it for a ridiculous amount of time, you get the full speed boost suite, which is not just movement speed, jump speed, boost speed, but reaction speed too for melee. So you're going to be swinging faster at the same time. And this is an option built into your arms, so it's not like an EX. It costs no gauge, it costs no meter. It's infinitely renewable. Since you have two, you never have to worry about the cooldown. You can always have it up. And you can even use a Hyper Trance at the same time, because it does not take the slot of a Hyper Trance. You could build up your hit combo for the attack bonus, activate Hyper Jammer, which renders you invisible and hard to target by enemies, turn on your speed booster, and just kind of go nuts. Not terrible. It's not great, it's not perfect, but it's one of the better straight builds in Wing, honestly. And it looks so much better than the Endless Waltz version. Alright, yeah, 2 minutes is probably the most appropriate time to talk about stuff. Upload that, and there we go. Who is next? Probably, Hell Endless Waltz? Hell Endless Waltz. My throat hurts for some reason. Yes, it is Hell Endless Waltz. Which does not have a shield. It has the scythe again. We have Hyper Jammer on both arms, which is cute. Head Vulcans and Self-Destruct. That's it? Yeesh. This one's going to be real quick to talk about. Now, let me make sure the scythe doesn't do anything fancy. No, it's just an axe. Endless Waltz Wing over normal Wing? No. Wing TV is 1000% better looking than Wing Endless Waltz. And I'm not talking about Wing Zero Endless Waltz either. That's a whole other thing. But, like, base Wing, TV trounces the Endless Waltz version, top to bottom. Alright, yeah, there's nothing going on here. This will be a quick one. Let's turn on Oh, no. Test menu, HP, gauge. Okay. Gundam Death Scythe Hell in this Waltz version has nothing going on. Despite the fact it looks sick, but that's about it. No shield, no gun. You only have the beam scissors. Your only EX options to spend gauge on is Hyper Jammer, which is fine, I guess. It makes you invincible and hard to target, keeps you alive. But you don't have anything else to use besides your basic melee, since the only options that come with this kit is Head Vulcans, which is, you know, fine, and everyone's favorite hated Self-Destruct. A melee scaling ability, so that's one upside, I guess, that runs off of Trap option, has terrible range, and on every single use, kills you without fail, regardless of your HP. And when it does actually connect, it does okay damage, but not in a great range. It's fine. There's really nothing going on with this kit outside the aesthetics, and sadly that makes it a pretty bad straight build. Okay, and then we're gonna go over here, and then we're gonna rename the clip, and then we're gonna and then we're gonna upload the clip to the YouTube. I'm gonna download the clip from the YouTube. I'm gonna put the clip in the video. DSHEW. Then I'm gonna clean up the audio in the clip. Then I'm gonna enhance the audio in the clip. And then I'm going to insert the clip into the video. Alright, after Death Scythe then is Waltz, is Epion. Yeah, it's a shame. Epion's about to have the same problem. It's cool, but like, let me tell you, that whip is ass. The whip option. Zero System, okay, cool, but it doesn't even have its own Burst Breaker equivalent for a burst. Epion Claw, Self-Destruct, Beam Sword, Heat Rod. Tell you what, Self-Destruct lives on the back page. We already know it sucks. This is better than Death Scythe Endless Waltz, but honestly not by a lot. My headset's fitting funky. Alright, first off, Zero System's not anything terrible, but it's also just like a basic Hypertrance. I mean, look, Speed Booster off of Death Scythe does everything it does except attack power. That's it. It's just a basic Hypertrance. It's nothing crazy. Then you have the Beam Sword, which is a great sword option. Granted, look how fast I am. Zero System does increase your reaction speed by quite a bit. Only 30 seconds. But that option's also kind of shitty because I already do that with my equipped greatsword anyway. $583 for more damage on top of that. The whip is incredibly sad. It's not like the Goof's option whip. It's just like it's just a combo. That's it. That's all we're doing. Not even a particularly good one. Doesn't even change in the air or anything. Benefit of the doubt. Let's reset. Let's turn on damage. Let's turn on part loss. No, not even any special part loss properties. Now, the best thing about it is Epion Claw, definitely. You do a Psycho Crusher. And the important thing about that is that you have two of them. So while one's on cooldown, use the other one. Second later, the other one comes off cooldown. zoom around the fucking field. That's not bad. That's really not bad. And you don't have to worry about not having a gun, because all your shit's melee. And for hoo-haws, you even have Burst Breaker, which will scale with your melee. And self-destruct. Let's load back in and record. I'm only going to have one Zaku because the Epion's a dueling unit. Yeah. Gundam Epion Endless Waltz version is not bad. It is hyper-specialized into melee, and that's to its benefit. So for weapons, you have the big-ass beam sword, which is a great sword-type weapon with all the perks of a great sword-type skill. You have sometimes quick-hitting, heavy, strong attacks. You also get super armor when using it, which is good, but also bad in that you sometimes can't react to taking damage. So you take more damage than you intend to because you just can't get out of there fast enough. Its kit is not terrible, though. As far as options go, you have a great sword option, the beam sword on your waist, which is just a copy of what you're using in your hand. Nothing to write home about. The heat rod as well. You think it would be a whip option like Goof's, but sadly it's just a little combo. No special properties, not great range. Cooldowns, alright. It's not going to be your go-to. Your go-to is going to be the Epion Claw. You have one in each hand, and it makes you do a little Psycho Crusher. The cool thing is, since you have two of them and it recharges so quickly, there's nothing stopping you from going Psycho Crusher. Wait a second, do the other Psycho Crusher, and look at that, your first one's already back off cooldown. It's going to be scaling off melee, which you're always going to have through your melee weapon. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. You have good mobility when using it. It does good stun. It does decent damage. Probably the best thing about the kit. Now, it also comes with the Black Sheep Self-Destruct, but we already know that's kind of a... yeah... You don't use it if you have to. Even has its own Hyper Trance in Zero system, which is kind of a basic Hyper Trance. You get attack power, you get speed. Nothing too crazy. But the bonus speed to your melee is appreciated because you do genuinely attack that much faster. You focus all in on melee with this guy, it's going to work out. I genuinely think it'll be a decent build. And with the default Burst Breaker, it's even thematic. Because you got another big old sword that's based on melee. It's okay. It's genuinely okay. Okay, my favorite series? I actually could never decide this. So last year, I ended up doing a round-robin tournament of 40 different entries in the franchise. 0079, Zeta, Double Zeta, all the way up to Erder Hunt, all the way up to Crossbone, all the way up to G-Quux. I did a 40-entry round-robin. I did most of it on stream, where I put randomly two shows against each other. Do I like this show more than this show? Do I like this show more than this show? And I ran it, and it took me hours. And at the other end, I had raw data. I had numbers. I had what shows won against how many other shows, and I had a ranking of who had the most wins. And what it came down to was 0079 and Age. Those were tied for my two favorite shows. Those were tied for first. Oh, I need to buy heavy arms parts. Uh-oh. Okay, we're just gonna back out for a second, buy some heavy arms. You guys tell me what your favorite show is. You don't have to go through the insane lengths I did, but what do you like? Alright, so where is the shooty boy? IBO? IBO is respectable. I know plenty of people who adore IBO. A lot of people who had it as their first. A lot of people who just like the very different take it has on everything. Alright, Heavy Arms is actually going to do pretty well, because shop builds are not terrible in this in any way. It has no EXs, but it does have full open. And by default, it has a lot of good full open. Also, I'm curious if Army Knife is still glitched. Head Vulcan, Beam Gatling, Chest, homing, homing, homing. A full suite of options. This dude's gonna fuck. Now, it doesn't have a melee weapon, so I'm gonna have to give it a melee weapon just to launch with it. Sadly. It also means you're never gonna have any melee scaling. Back in the day, back at launch, Heavy Arms Army Knife was actually broken. In that it didn't have a cooldown. It still doesn't have a cooldown. Interesting. Check it out. Army Knife does not have a cooldown. You have an infinite melee weapon. Until you use the heavy pop-up. Okay. Heavy pop-up activates cooldown. Regular does not. They have never fixed that. Also, let's see. Reset 3. Leg pods target everything. Actually, let me put gauge back on. I am not. I am in someone's lobby. I can tell in a second whose. Leg pods target everything. Arm pods target everything. Arm pods target everything. Okay. Can I spray with this? Yes, I can. That's kind of useful for bosses, actually. Same with the chest. And the Vulcans are just Vulcans. But the Vulcans can be fired with other shit. There's nothing wrong with that. And then you have full open for your real damage, because everything on this kit is going to participate in full open. Now you have no way to dump EX gauge, but that's fine, I guess, because you can just do an armor repair. You'll have a reason for these multi-hit attacks to build your Awaken, so you can just dump full open whenever you get a chance. It's funny the backpack doesn't participate in full open. That's fine, I guess. And also the Gatling's just good. Like, this is a good kit. This is a fine kit. This get people off you. This get people off you. This get people off you. This should never be used. A little bit of a lag, but that's okay. Yeah, this is good. This is a good one. This one fucks. Let me exit into lobby and just show you where I am. Actually, tell you what. I'll just make my own lobby. That's fine. I'll make my own lobby. This one has some people in it, but that's okay. guess. No. Create. There we go. Lobby made. Anyone can jump in this lobby if they feel like it. I'm going to spend a lot of time in the lab, though, so what that's worth. Also, who's trying to... Plan applications... Nero UE? Yeah. Okay. Alright, let's talk that good shit about heavy arms. I gotta see one thing. Gundam Heavy Arms Endless Waltz version. I'm on PlayStation. I don't know if you are, buddy. Gundam Heavy Arms Endless Waltz version kinda rules. I know it's everyone's favorite, but it's actually really good. So, small downsides. You don't come with any melee weapon, which is fine, because you're loaded up with so many guns, not necessary. Specifically, you have a really nice handheld Gatling that even at default for a level 1 weapon at base rarity has a ton of ammo in it, and is great for building gauge. You also have an entirely full palette of option skills, all of which are solid. You have a chest-mounted machine gun you can use while moving. You have a back-mounted machine gun you can use while moving. You have your head Vulcans that can be used with either one of them in conjunction, or with any other action. You have this really neat little army knife, too. Now, this dude is just a saber combo. There's nothing too special about it. But it has technically been glitched since the launch of the game. They have never fixed it. You see, if I use the strong attack with the uppercut, it goes on cooldown, though the cooldown's pretty quick. If I use the regular attack string, it has no cooldown. The regular attack string never ever puts it on cooldown, for God knows why. Now, for a saber combo, that's not super useful, but it's still interesting. And it still provides an on-demand pop-up if you need it. On the back pane, I have the rest of the kit, which is missiles. Each arm contains homing missiles that attack all enemies in range, homing missiles that attack all enemies within range, and the leg as well pops open a whole mess of them that does the same thing. All of this usable while moving. That's the best part about it. It gets people knocked down, it gets people off you, it does good consistent damage. The split means you can clear fields, while also focusing damage on a single target if that's all you have left. And then there's self-destruct here, which we know is terrible and we don't want to ever use. Now, the real crown jewel of this kit is it comes with its own burst action, full open, which the version that Heavy Arms has fires from its chest at base, even if you have no other appropriate parts equipped, machine guns. And then every single other machine gun type, Gatling type, and missile type part on your kit gets fired at the same time. The damage scales up with how many of those appropriate parts that you have. Since by default you have the handheld Gatling, the chest Gatlings, the missiles in the arms, and the missiles on the legs, as well as your head Vulcans, this does a shitload of damage. I don't know if it's the max it can carry, probably not, because you can have 2 handhelds. But it's fantastic for out-of-the-box play. And this will be your bread and butter for doing big spiked bursts of damage into bosses. The multi-hit nature of all your options will help build up that gauge even faster, too. So you can just unload. Now, it's a little unfortunate you don't have a melee weapon, so the army knife will never really get any stronger. But does it really need to when you have all this firepower? Heavy arms is great, and I think it works absolutely to play the game with as a straight build. Okay, then we go over here, and then we upload it to the YouTube, and we go unlisted. And we go HAEW, and we upload, and then we download that later. Okay, now heavy arms is great. Heavy arms fucks. Next is Sandrock TV, which is okay. Definitely going to sit in the okay level. It's not going to blow anything away. What platform are you playing, dude? I mean, all platforms are valid. We all break together. Sucks there's no crossplay, but what are you going to do? Shodel, Vulcans. Put Flash down here. Flash and... Actually, no. Vulcan, homing missile. No burst, no EXs. Switch! Hey, you're playing on the go, though. You're doing something I can't. Okay, so, Sandrock. Uniquely, Sandrock comes with 2 melees, which is good. Because that means you have double the traits. You have that dual saber combo string. No EXs for gauge, so you only really have armor repair or whatever. It has a grab. It has a throwable Shodel, which I think is a stun. Get back up so I can confirm that. Might just be a regular boomerang. No, it's a boomerang. It has Vulcans. It has homing missiles. Really good homing missiles, actually. Sandrock? I'd buy that. A lot of people like Sandrock. Homing missiles that split, too. And Flash, which is a stun, but it has some pretty bad range. It's pretty much running off of, like, Dom range or Dark Hound range. There we go. And it's only a 3-second stun. It's not going to be doing much for you, but... And then, I don't know. I don't hate this. Now, the only bad side is you don't have a ranged weapon by default. So those missiles are not going to get any better than a Disruptor. That Vulcan's never going to do any appreciable damage. They're going to be good for breaking parts, but that's about it. That and that are going to be the real monsters. Actually, hold on. I think that might be range-based. Because I can't see it doing that little damage otherwise. Yeah, that's totally range-based. Ugh. Well, you got the claw. I guess. You have 2 melees. I guess it's okay, but not okay. Alright. Let's reset this because I hate having those command logs on screen. I like that Sandrock is in here, though. I'll take it. There's also Sandrock Endless Waltz. I don't know if that's any better, but we're going to find out. Sandrock Gundam is okay. What's unique about it is that by default auto build, you have 2 Shodels. You have 2 melee weapons, which means 2 sets of traits, and the 2-handed melee moveset, which is cool, I guess. You also have a pretty beefy amount of options, but no EXs and no burst. Specifically, you can throw those Heat Shodels in a range attack that does not stun, but still decent utility. You have Head Vulcans. You also have the homing missiles, which are great. They're multi-target. They'll hit multiple enemies. They'll knock down. They'll break parts. But since you don't have a ranged weapon by default, they will never get stronger, sadly. So your best option is this Claw Grab. Pretty basic grab, but all things considered, you could do worse. You also have this stun in the shield called Flash. Use little eyes on it to stun people. But it's only a 3-second stun, and the range is honestly tragic. You need to be right in their bee's knees anyway, and I can't see it as anything that'll particularly save you from any encounters. Yeah, look at that shit. Sandrock is okay. The fact that Throne Shodel is range-based is a problem, because you won't have anything to scale up with it. The homing missiles as well could be a lot better if they actually had a gun, sadly. I'm just not sure how much mileage you're getting out of that melee moveset and that claw by itself. Especially when you start going up against bigger bosses and tougher enemies. I would put Sandrock on the border. It's not bad. But Sandrock TV is definitely not great. Okay. I have not been to a Gundam base. The Chicago one has opened up fairly recently, and I have not had a chance to visit. But it is really cool, and I hope to someday. Right, Sandrock Custom Endless Waltz. You get the Beam Cloak. Honestly, I don't know if I would include the ABC Cloak. Because, like, it's... Wait, is that not actually an option? Yeah, I'm not sure if I would include the ABC Cloak, because it is technically a straight build, but it doesn't come with the kit, you know? Like, it's not part of the default kit. Also, why doesn't it fit? Is this supposed to be, like, for a master grade? Do I have a master grade? It doesn't even fit when it's a master grade. It's like hanging over for some reason. It's weird. It's weird. Now, it does come with an option. It does come with beam defense. I'm not sure if we should include it. Because it doesn't come with the kit. You have to earn it. You have to get it from a mission. I mean, it does say mobile suit, Sandrock Custom Endless Waltz. But I feel like that's dipping into weird territory because there's some option parts that are just duplicate equipment of stuff things already has. I don't know how I wanna score that one. Also, we have Sandrock Endless Waltz, and Sandrock Custom Endless Waltz. That's weird. Alright. That's going to make such a big difference, the fact that it has the Saber combo. Anti-beam cloak, self-destruct. I'm going to include it only because it doesn't have anything else going on for it. And it is technically part of the kit. The new high grade will come with it. Yeah, I don't think we can get it for a while, though, so excellent point, but, like... So, 2 melee attacks again. And they look awesome. Head Vulcan, the anti-beam defense, and a Saber combo to dump your EX gauge into, which we all know is good. But that's it. That's all it has going on for it. I feel like you have to include the cloak in the conversation to make it not a complete piece of shit. And when we get to Sandrock Endless Waltz in a second, that will probably be a complete piece of shit. It is a cool moveset. It does make you feel like Sandrock. I wish my headset fit properly again. Goddamn thing broke a bit ago, and I've been trying to tape it together. Okay. Gundam Sandrock Custom Endless Waltz version. Gundam Sandrock Custom Endless Waltz version is cool, but that might be about it. So plus sides, 2 melee weapons by default. You get both shodels. And they're the Endless Waltz heat shodels. They look sick as hell. And you have the sick as hell dual saber moveset to go with it. Also on that backpack comes an EX skill that few of these seem to want to have. It's a heat shuttle skill, it's a saber combo, but it's something you can dump your gauge into for big, quick damage, and that's always appreciated. All my breaker die runs, that seems to be the best neutral option in most situations. Besides that, your options are limited to head Vulcans, your friend and mine self-destruct, and I didn't know if I should include this, but that anti-beam cloak as well. Technically, this is an option part. This does not come with the kit out of box, but it is an option part that belongs specifically to this kit. What it provides is, you see right there my triangle, a passive anti-beam protection. So while that's equipped, I take 10% less damage from beams. That might make the difference between life and death when I have no range options whatsoever, besides head Vulcans, no ranged weapons, and I'm trying to constantly rush people down to get into melee range. I think you could probably beat the game with this kind of straight build, and you'll look fly as fuck doing it. But I just don't think it'll be very effective because you are highly limited in what you can do, besides just run up and bash people. Okay, then we look at the media and we go over here, and then we go to YouTube, and we go upload, and we go unlisted, and we go Sandrock. I go up to Carol's door, and I go, Carol, we got a problem. Open the door, where I find there is no Carol. And then Sandrock Custom Endless Waltz. Okay. Now let's check out Sandrock Endless Waltz and see what a waste of a roster slot that shit is. Excuse me, do I not have melee weapons? Oh no, I do. Okay. I think. Yes, I have the heat shuttles, but still no range. I still have that heat shuttle EX though, and I have the same skills that Endless Waltz has. God damn, I don't even get a shield? You don't even get the really cool looking fancy shield? Nah, hold on, fuck that. I need to rebuy this thing. I'm pretty sure you get that. Nah. Sandrock, Endless Waltz. Yeah, it has a shield. So why is the shield not equipped? Let's just rebuy it just in case. Duh. Equip parts. Assorted armaments. Yeah, there we go. There's the cool shield. And the shield gets a cross crusher. Yeah, okay. And I remember being upset because regular TV shield didn't have cross crusher. Okay, let's refresh myself. Is cross crusher just a oh no. I think cross crusher is just a kick combo. No. Yeah. It's a kick combo with a dash. It's okay, I guess. It's certainly doing better than custom is. Oh, those are dual blades. Was Endless Waltz dual blades too? No, they weren't. Or, I mean, was custom? No. Yes, because these are specifically Sandrock Custom and Sandrock Endless Waltz. Oh, yeah, no, hold on. This is some sick shit. Yeah, no, this is much better than Custom Endless Waltz. By, like, a degree. Because they're actually dual blades. Or twin blades. Which are not only good, but just feed the fuck out of your EX gauge. Yeah, actually, hold on. This dude kind of... This guy fucks. This guy is so much better than the movie version. Okay, let's, exit. Reset. Get my headset back on proper, so I'm actually talking to the microphone. See what the cooldown on this bitch is. Gundam Sandrock Endless Waltz version is actually a huge improvement over the movie and OVA version. Mostly because the expansion of options you have available to you. These might look like they're the same shodels that the custom Endless Waltz was using, but they are separate parts. And they have a separate moveset. Instead of being straight sabers, these dudes are twin blades. So you still have the saber combo moveset at base, with options to route into twin blade stuff. That's a huge boost in your hit count and damage output, and more importantly, your gauge building. And you're going to want to build that gauge because they still have that heat shuttle combo for that good, solid, consistent damage. And then you can use your woojie woogies to get that gauge back. In addition, you also have a tool that the movie one does not have in Cross Crusher, which is on your shield. It's a backflip combo, but it has a little bit of a dash at the start. So you get a little extra range out of it. You still have Head Vulcan. You still have that dogshit self-destruct. But the fact that the shoulders have changed to a twin blade does a lot for the viability of this kit. Massively. I think this has a much better shot than either of the other Sandrocks, just because you can focus down more in a melee direction. I guess the Vulcans are there too. It might seem simple, but simple is not bad in this case. I would definitely at least try to beat the game with this, and I don't think I would have serious problems. Wow, that's a pleasant surprise. I totally forgot they were like that. And then we go sand, endless waltz, and upload. I'll build the video later today, but who's next on our list? It's your friend and mine, Leo. I'm not even going to talk about Leo. I'll be completely honest. I am planning on loading in with Leo and just laughing. That's the whole clip. Leo. That's it. And then for the video, I'm going to immediately smash cut to dumping its box art into the far end of weak. The far end of unviable. The fact that the machine gun is just a regular machine gun and not even a cool HE, that's such dog water. Like, this shit don't even stun. Poor Leo. You made it all the way from Breaker Mobile, and this is what you got. All right. Take a sip of my coffee. It's blueberry. Serpent, here is a question. If I auto-build from Serpent's head, will I get the Gatling arms? Yes. No, I won't. Interesting. Now the question is, do I include the Gatling arms? I think I should, because they are part of the Serpent's identity. Both of them, though? Because the Serpent's never really used both. Also, what are my weapons? Also, it gives you no range weapons if you use the Gatling arms. How do I build Serpent? Is Serpent the first kit that gives us options? Because, frankly, I could go for the Gatlings, and I could also go for no Gatling and the handheld bazooka. That is my favorite looking bazooka in the entire game. I cannot get over how fucking cool this is. But it also has the bazooka on the backpack, so you don't really want to use the bazooka in the hand. And it's just a regular bazooka. It does nothing special. Unlike the backpack version. Okay, I think right arm Gatling, left arm no Gatling. Because if you auto-build with the head, you get no Gatling, but you get the beam cannon. But the beam cannon's already on the back anyway. The beam cannon is also a carbine. It's a long rifle. So it's not the same as the beam cannon on the back either. Do you have an irradiation mode? Or are you just a carbine? Okay, you just have a charge up. Meanwhile, you have the blast, which is good, actually. And the bazooka, which is amazing. Wait, did it auto-equip options for me? That's so weird. So you have both shoulders no matter what. No matter what kind of arm you're using, you have the shoulder missiles. I don't know. Chat, what do you think? How should we set up Serpent for an out-of-box play? Because auto-build is not consistent because it depends on what arms you auto-build from. If you just auto-build from the head, you don't get the Gatling arms. And I don't think that is... Wait, hold on. Let me try to auto-build with the Master Grade. Master Grade does not auto-build with the Gatling arms either. Okay. I think the Gatling arm is an important part of the Serpent's identity. I don't think it's a Serpent without it. I also don't think the beam cannon is necessary on the arm, or on the handheld. Oh, was that a new type version? Shit. That might have been a new type version I was using. Hold on, let me test it out and make sure that weapon type's not any different. Yeah, it does have an irradiation beam by default. That's useful. That's incredibly useful. Okay, here's what I am thinking. One arm Gatling. Only one of them. Maybe be left arm because Troa. Nah, right arm. Yeah, right arm. Right arm's better. Right arm double Gatling gun. No beam cannon, but beam cannon left hand. Because I believe having a handheld Jirobi is incredibly useful. Yeah, like that. Okay. I think Serpent's in the same boat as Heavy Arms. That's going to be fantastic. Wait, the Serpent doesn't have handheld Gatling as a weapon too, does it? Oh, fuck, it does. No, it doesn't. Yeah, that's the Heavy Arms Gatling gun. No, there's a double Gatling gun. Shit, Serpent totally comes with its own Gatling, too. Which is stupidly good. So how about we do... right arm, actual Gatling arm. Left arm, weapon. Right arm, bazooka beam, or Serpent beam cannon. Ugh. I'm gonna have a lot to say about Serpent, because this shit's just good. Beam cannon with single shots. We have to pause for them, which can keep you alive in the air, by the way. The Gatling gun, which is good. The Gatling gun, which is good. Fuck it, we're putting both Gatlings on. The twin-linked nature of it is part of the Serpent's identity. And frankly, having 2 of them is very useful for cooldown. You can straight up keep them both on cooldown without any kind of issues. Hit bosses with that and that for big damage. Alright. I'm going to have a lot to talk about on Serpent. Serpent Custom is just too much. Wait, I think I missed the recording on that one. Serpent Custom is just too much. It comes with too many guns, too many options, too much good stuff. So the thing about Serpent, it comes with a ton of duplicates in the kit. You have 2 sets of arms. Arms without these built-in Gatling guns, and arms with these built-in Gatling guns. On top of that, you can have the Gatling gun itself as an actual weapon, in addition to the Gatling guns as options. You also have the beam cannon and bazooka in your backpack as easy and powerful EXs or options, which you can also just hold in your hand, giving you access to an underhanded carbine with a Jirobi irradiation beam. Like, this shit does everything for a range build. You do not have a melee weapon, but why do you need one? You have so much stuff you can just throw down range at people on overlapping cooldowns. Look at this. By the time my second Gatling is done, the first one's back up. The missiles in both your arms do knockdown and pop up at the same time while stripping parts for easy smashes. The bazooka just slapped the shit out of people. And for being a 2-bar Jirobi, the beam cannon is fast, which means it dumps all its damage quicker than most. If you feed the additional bars into it, it's a good amount of damage if you hit multiple hitboxes. Like, this does everything. And my favorite part about its handheld beam cannon is the fact that it locks you in place. So you can avoid large bosses and still do good solid damage by getting above them and just staying up here for a second. The fact that it comes with all these guns means you can slap on whatever you feel like, too. Whether it be the bazooka, or the beam cannon, or 2 more Gatlings to go with your arm-mounted Gatlings, so you can Gatling while you're Gatlinging, and then Gatling as well. Build a stupid amount of gauge just to feed back into your beam cannon. Like, it's doing everything. Everything except punching the other guy in the face. Serpent gets it. Serpent absolutely can be an effective straight build. If you have the opportunity as well, track down one of the old 144 or 1100s of these, because it comes with all this shit too. You get the beam cannon, you get the Gatlings. You only get the bazooka if you get the 1100, which I think is a shame because it's my favorite bazooka in the game. But it's also just a fun, solid kit without a lot of seam lines or issues with it. Probably also like $1 million right now, but if you can find one, snatch it. Otherwise, this is maybe one of the best kits in the entire Wing series for this game. Okay, and then we go over to the YouTube and we upload Serpent. This gives me hope, gang. So, the handheld Gatling is only present when you are using it as a weapon. If you switch to melee, it'll disappear. But unfortunately, the way you're swaying and the way you're holding stuff, you might be able to pivot the arm-mounted Gatling a little bit by virtue of it being on your arm. Because you're holding the other Gatling, they're never going to align properly. But what you can do if you want to make the ultimate clusterfuck is take the handheld mounted Gatling and the arm mounted Gatling and then add a Gatling builder's part. And then you can go from looking obnoxious to looking obnoxious with your triple Gatlings. You can Zhuagu that bitch. Now, granted, you can't really find a way for them all fire at the same time without, like, maybe a full open. But full open doesn't work on builder's parts either. It's so stupid. But no, there's not really a good way to make them align. This is the best you got. The builder's part on top of the handheld without your weapon present. You can align the builder's part to be aligned with your handheld. You can almost perfectly overlap them. By handheld, I mean arm-mounted. My bad. The arm-mounted and the builder's part can be overlapped, but as soon as you bring the actual weapon, the handheld one in, it's going to be off-center again. But that looks pretty cool. Now, who's next after Serpent? Schlong! I like Schlong. Schlong is great. Let's take that thing off before I get ideas. Schlong has no EXs. Schlong has no burst. Schlong has Dragon Fang, Beam Glaive, Shield Toss, Head Vulcan, and Self-Destruct. Schlong TV also looks excellent, and I think Schlong Endless Waltz is a miss. I think Schlong Endless Waltz takes what makes Schlong TV so unique and waters it down too much. Also, Mana, if you're wondering, it's the same shitty skill. But at least it looks better. Does it still phase through? No, it is better about that at least. It doesn't go as far. Ugh. And Beam Glaive is just a spear option. But I already have a spear in my hand, so what are we doing? Shield Toss is not a stun, it's just a Shield Toss. And that's absolutely scaled on range, which I don't have. I wish Schlonger's was better. It's such a good design. I love the fact that Master O decided to do his own thing with the styling and technology of Shenlong since he's a motor specialist. But he still stole the search eye off of Zero and put it in the arms and called it something completely different like we wouldn't notice. There's still high-powered cameras that collect data and feed back to the unit. But instead of being search eyes, they're fighting sites. Or, in the L5 colony Wu Fei comes from, Phyto-Cyto. That's actually in one of the old manuals. Do not call me racist. It's written out that way. But they have the same idea of the search eye. That they're supposed to be constantly taking in data and sending it back to the computers. Wings just happens to be directly in its chest as a big old orb, Shenlong happens to have them on both sides of its arms. More cameras, more data. Maybe they're not as good as the Search Eye, maybe they're not as powerful, because O really didn't have like the same Wing Zero flare that J did. But he clearly fucking stole them. Also, don't clip me sounding racist. Shenlong Gundam, the TV version, also affectionately referred to as Schlong, is unfortunate. I think it's one of the coolest of the Meteor Gundams. It's a really unique design. It has really cool ideas. Master O is an absolute sociopath and devised a means of delivering napalm to people hiding in rubble after a global disaster in the form of a stretchy arm with extendo fingers. But it's just not that good in game. The Beam Glaive is one of your first early uses of a lance type weapon, which is fine, I guess. But then the Beam Glaive option is the same thing but worse. So like, what are we doing? Head Vulcan's always gonna be Head Vulcans. The Shield Toss is sadly not even a stun, so it can't even have that benefit. And it runs off of range, of which we have no range weapon. So it's a straight build that's never going to get any stronger. Also, Self-Destruct is back here, but don't look at it, don't talk to it, don't even shake its hand. The Dragon Fang is the same kind that we saw in Ultron, which is just tragic. It's the extendo arm with a flamethrower, with terrible range, and the flamethrower is going to be doing prominence damage that is ticking damage over time based on their current HP. So as it deals damage, it is going to deal less damage. In addition, the sheer act of dealing damage with the initial hit is reducing the damage the ticks are doing. In addition, just slapping them is going to be doing more damage. It's a bad skill, and sadly, it's the best skill we have. So, Shenlong TV, I adore you, dude, but you're just not very good. Okay, so it takes me 2 minutes to talk shit about somebody. It takes me 3 minutes to say that good stuff. This video is going to be like a half a fucking hour long. Update for what? Update for what? What update? Oh, daily and GGet? Yo, YouTube does not let me upload this video titled Schlong. It straight up says remove profanity to continue. Shilong. Okay, prominence damage is fire-based. Electrical damage is electrical-based. Do they do anything different? No. I have not seen a single trait that actually actively boosts prominence damage or shock damage. I feel like there should have been somewhere along the line, but we didn't get that. But they functionally do the same thing, which is both bad. In fact, shock damage is worse. It doesn't last anywhere near as long. Alright, Tallgeese 2. Tallgeese 2 and Tallgeese 1 are probably going to be bundled under the same thing, because they are functionally identical. They have the same skills, the same everything except their aesthetics. And if you notice, I can't launch with Tallgeese 2. That's because Tallgeese, both versions, do not even have a goddamn melee weapon. They just have the Dober gun. So I'm going to have to slap on melee. Tall Geese 2 and Tall Geese 1 Endless Waltz will be combined for the sake of this short, because they're both functionally identical outside of their aesthetics, of which His Excellency is superior. It's okay, and that's not good. It does not have any weapons of its own outside of the Dober gun, which is just a long rifle that you can irradiate, which is okay. That's not bad. It's not bad at all. Having the ability to go Jirobi in your handheld can do a lot of damage to bosses. Its sole only option is a Beam Saber combo, which is just a basic combo, but that also does not scale anyway because you don't have a melee weapon. And then the only EX you got is the Beam Cannon, which is fast, it's strong, you can feed gauge into it, but with your only option being that Saber combo and no actual melee attacks, you're not going to be feeding that gauge very quickly. Tall Geese fans, I'm sorry, but these are both not great. In fact, I'd put them down at bad. And then for the video, I'm gonna just like put a little Tall Geese 1 thumbnail, little line art on the side. And be like, I'm here too. Hey, I'm Tall Geese. Howdy, howdy, howdy. Okay, so Tall Geese 3 is gonna save the day. I like how Tall Geese 3 Endless Waltz version implies the existence of Tall Geese 1 and 2 Endless Waltz version. Or sorry, Tall Geese 3 non-Endless Waltz version. Like a Tall Geese 3 from TV. In your heart when you slap the wings on. Make it yourself, you lazy bum. Alright, you also don't have a melee weapon. If a kit can succeed without a melee weapon, it needs to have a million fucking guns. This is so fucking cool. It's a saber whip hybrid. Tell me that's not rad as hell. It has like the best skills of both lines. But the problem is you don't have a melee weapon, so it's never going to scale. Mega Cannon's fat too. That might be placebo, but I feel like it can catch more than it should. Let me just try to get him a little closer. Like, I feel like this shouldn't catch both of them. It doesn't. Okay. No, it's not that bad, actually. It's a standard beam length when you get away from the base. I think only the base of it is bulbous. But not bulbous in a way that lets you catch people. Yeah. And then right, like, there, he's out of it. Yeah. Better, not by much. Tall Geese 3 is better, but not by much. You still have no melee weapon. You still have a Dobergun-styled Mega Cannon that has the Irradiation Jirobi built into it. And you still have a fairly strong quick-draw Mega Cannon as a EX dump. You have no melee weapon, though, which is double tragic, because you have, like, the sickest option skill, which is a Whip Melee Hybrid, a Whip Saber Hybrid. It has like the best loadout skills from a whip option and a saber option built into one. It's like the sickest shit. But it'll never get any stronger because you don't have a melee weapon to scale up with. You're reliant entirely on that Mega Cannon in both forms, and your little baby Vulcans. Also, it's cool to see a tall geese with Vulcans. It's slightly better than the other geese. It's the head of the flock, but it's not great. Okay, we're gonna send this over to the YouTube, and I think we're finally on the wings. RST. Wait, where's Shenlong Endless Waltz? Fuck, I skipped Schlong Waltz. We'll go back and do Schlong Waltz. I don't like it. I'm sorry. The Dragon Fang's cool that it's this big, like, fold-out claw, but it doesn't stretch anymore. Even with the sword, I don't think it's that cool. And you will not believe what this version of Dragon Fang does, despite being entirely different aesthetically. The same dumb shit. And it might look like it reaches farther. It doesn't. Because the arm doesn't stretch anymore. But it's the same hitbox range. It covers the same distance. I wish it had like an option select where I could hold it to get like a Vibro Claw. But no, it hates us. I'll be honest. This does literally nothing different than Shenlong TV. I think I'm just going to put the little line art for this dude on Shenlong TV and just put a little thing on screen that says it's exactly the same. Because it is exactly the same. Arguably worse. The claw might look cooler, but it doesn't extend. And I'm pretty sure it's the same, yeah. Same moveset for the spear and the option. It's not any different. It's not a special lance of any kind. It's a regular lance. Sad. Okay, so from Tall Goose, we get to the wings. We're almost done. I think Wing TV is going to be alright. Because it has its good own gun, it has its own saber, it has a shield, doesn't have any EXs, but that's okay. It has decent range skills that still have range scaling due to your Buster Rifle. I think this will be right in the middle of the pack. And sadly, this is one of the only action games we can actually play as Wing TV. What others can you think of besides Ace? Ace 1. What other action games can we actually play as Wing TV? I can't think of any. Custom Endless Waltz steals its slot every single time. Do I have the wrong gun? I must have the wrong gun. This must be a new type version of it, because there's no fucking way that doesn't have an irradiation. Yeah, level 17, that's a new type version. I need this one. That's more like it, and it makes the noise. And you have both of those that you can use in tandem. Good damage, good break, good build, gauge build for, I guess, armor repair. For when you use self-destruct. Saber combo is just a saber combo. Your actual saber is nothing special. God, wing beams look so good. Is the saber combo version brighter? It feels brighter. Oh no. No, guess not. Does it have an extra trail? No. It's the same. No, okay. Never mind. I think this is solid. And it looks good. And it's technically the master grade model, despite being high grade scale. Because you see how the wings have that that attachment in their separation. So you know it's actually the master grade. Just scaled down. Just like Victory as well is the master grade Verka, because it actually has the red circles. Wing Gundam TV version. I adore this little dude. It is a tragedy that you cannot play as Wing TV in almost any games. The only action games I can think of besides this is like Ace 1, another Century episode. And that's criminal, because Wing TV rules. And I don't think it's bad in this either. It's pretty bread and butter. You have no EXs, you have no burst. But you have a pretty solid rifle that has the irradiation beam that makes the sound. More than the beam magnum can say. You have head Vulcans and machine cannons, which you can use. Good, solid gauge filler that gets people off you. You can also use them together, because Vulcans can be used with anything else. You have self-destruct, which doesn't matter, you should never touch it. Beam Saber combo, which really isn't much different than your regular Beam Saber. But it's also Beam Saber you actually have. So you have a ranged weapon. You have a melee weapon. Both of which can be leveled as you play. So you can boost those option skill damages. I don't think it does anything special, but I don't think it does anything bad either. That irradiation beam on the regular gun is actually great for melting down bosses, hitting multiple hitboxes. And everything else is more than good enough to deal with regular enemies. It's not going to excel, it's not crazy, but I think this sits either at mid or slightly above mid for just how well it works and how good the design is. Oh, I forgot to talk about how it's actually the master grade model. That's fine. You guys all know that, right? Now Proto Zero. Then Wing Zero Endless Waltz. Then Wing Endless Waltz version. Why do you just have one Buster Rifle? Do I only have one Proto Zero Buster? Okay, I gotta go to the shop. Apparently I only have one Proto Zero Buster, and there's no fucking way it's not gonna have both. Proto Zero's fine. I know there's differences in the design, but I just don't see them. I'm going to buy another one of these, too, just in case I don't have two rifles. Like, I know the legs are different, I know the angles are different, but if I'm looking at them in a lineup, I'm not going to pick them out unless they're side by side. It's the most inoffensive thing Endless Waltz Glory of the Losers has ever done. Okay, there we go. Twin Busters. As it should be. No one's gonna say that except me. Rollin' Buster. Rollin' Buster. Zero system. Put you way the fuck over here. Beam Saber, shield combo. Actually, no, we don't need both Beam Sabers, but I will do Machine Cannon, Wing Vulcan. Wing Vulcan in the shield, that's right. That's something that is different about Endless Waltz. Both of them go Fwoom, and then they're both just regular rifles besides that. Rolling Buster, which is only unlocked when you have both of them equipped. Which does less fucking damage than the base shot? What's happening? Do I have two grossly misaligned weapons on? I might. Hold on. That might be skewing the average of the EX skill. No, it's a level 3 and a level 1. What the fuck? Okay, that's weird. I guess it's just a shit skill. Wing Vulcan, Machine Cannon, neither one can be used together, but at least they can be used off cooldown. I don't like that it does that. Why is it bucking? But the little covers pop up, because sometimes we get nice things. Kick. And I have a saber. I guess arguably you can say this does everything Wing does, but better, which is thematic. And then Zero System, of course, is just a regular hypertrans. Whoa, calm down. I'm so excited we're almost done with this. I was worried about series like Wing that have a ton of units. Wait, what is actually your name exactly? Motherfucker. Wing Gundam Proto Zero? Wing Gundam Proto Zero Endless Waltz version. Wing Gundam Proto Zero Endless Waltz version is pretty okay. If you take all the shit I just said about Wing, all that good shit, this does everything it does a little bit better, which is thematic. It's also a wonderful visual shitpost, being the Endless Waltzified version of Wing Zero TV as excuse to still have the Wing Zero TV design in the Endless Waltz Glory of the Losers manga, not to be confused with Endless Waltz, the OVA film. Those are not connected, technically. While still having Endless Waltz Wing hanging out alongside. The angles are different. The geometry is different. You put them side by side, it's obvious they're different, but it's more or less Wing Zero TV. It has the same benefits as Wing, that it actually uses Wing Saber, so you have a melee weapon. You have Twin Buster Rifles, which are just decent rifles that also have built-in Jirobies. 2 ammo supplies. It also, if you use both of those Buster Rifles together, unlocks an EX in the form of Rolling Buster. It is not great. The damage is really tragic on it. It has problems with elevation and hills, but it's still there. You have 2 sets of machine cannons, one in your shoulder and one in your arm shield. So that's useful to alternate. Beam Saber from the arms, which is a saber combo, nothing crazy. And shield combo, which is a nice kick for some extra bonus damage and a pop-up. And Self-Destruct, which is going to be back here and never see the light of day again. If Wing was solid enough for the kit it had, this is double solid because it has 2 guns. It also has a Hypertrance and Zero system, which is a basic Hypertrance, but the speed boost you get on attacks is not unappreciated. And while you're still waiting to build up hits to get that damage bonus, it's a nice damage bonus. One more thing you can dump your gauge into. You even spin faster. Look at that. Overall, decent kit. If I said Wing belongs in the middle, this belongs a little bit above middle. Okay, then we go over here, then we go over here to YouTube. When I get off of this, I'm going to have an alert that says, like, oh, 19 videos have been uploaded. Proto. Wing Zero TV is underrepresented too. Thankfully, Wing Zero TV was in SD Battle Alliance, but wait, where's my? I accidentally made a reverse flugel. Yeah, Exia's actually okay, but a lot of them are going to be kind of shit. Okay, this is pretty much going to do the same thing that Proto Zero does, with one exception. Oh, also, Double O in general is just a good kit with a ton of options. You got feathers. Come on, you got feathers. Does that not make all the difference? Now, what's your name? Wing Zero... Gundam Wing Zero Endless Waltz version. Okay. Isn't it funny that all these Zeros use Wing's Beam Saber? Gundam Wing Zero Endless Waltz version. You know it, you love it. Everyone is a fan of this design. Whether or not you think the angel wings are gaudy, deep in your heart, you know it's cool. Now, this is pretty identical to Proto Zero as far as functionality goes. The same EXs, the same guns. You still got the Jirobi Irradiation. You still have the long rifle. You still have the machine cannon. You are now lacking the shield cannon, but that's okay, because you've picked up something else that Proto Zero does not have. Or should I say, you dropped something else. Feathers! Thanks to the backpack, every move you make releases illusionary metaphorical feathers. Even as you're meleeing the shit out of people, you're dropping downs. Does that make a difference and make it better than the other kit? Yes. Yes, it does. Therefore, I shall be placing this one slightly higher than Proto Zero, because that's just cool. Otherwise, it does the same thing. Rolling Buster is Rolling Buster. Zero System, Zero System. It's not breaking new ground, but it looks really, really, really cool when you do it. Also, the panels pop on this one, too. Honestly, better than we deserve in some cases. Share, YouTube, unlisted, where the upload. What do you mean that's profanity? Okay. And then finally, the piece of shit Black Sheep. Wing Endless Waltz. Which doesn't even look as good as Kotoki's first run at it. They did as a prototype. That actually looks pretty rad. This is the refined version he finally kicked. I think it's too busy. I think the tricolor is too much of a tricolor. And I can see what they're doing with, like, trying to connect it to Endless Waltz Custom. But, got nothing else going on with it either. I might as well just put this up with... Yeah, I might as well just put this up with Wing TV. Because the gun's the same. The skills are the same. Except I guess you get the hatches, which is okay. I might as well just say I'm combining them together. I plan to do that for all the Zakus and UC too, because frankly they all are just complete ass. Zaku 2, Sharazaku, Shin Matsunaga, Johnny Ridden, they don't do anything. They have no skills to their name, they share the same weapon pools, they only have cosmetic differences on their legs and their paint scheme. That's pretty much it. Garma at least has head Vulcans. And the Magella Cannon. That's interesting to talk about. Also, I suddenly hate its backpack. Does it not have... Does it not have thrusters? At all? What the fuck? You seen this shit? Nothing on the feet, nothing on the backpack, nothing in the wings. What in the Abakawa Sam Hill? I've never noticed that, and this has dropped my estimation of it like 4 fucking points. I think I hate it. I already didn't like it. I think I hate it. Yeah, no fucking thank you. I don't know, dude. Wing does. Wing absolutely does. But I don't know about Endless Waltz Wing. That would be such a weird oversight. Hold on. We're going to Google. Wing Gundam EW. The wiki should have a back view. If it's not trash. Never mind, it's trash. cannot find a single shot of the back of this bitch. Check G-Get. Check G-Get. Check the angles in G-Get. Well, hold on, let me go to Dalong. Let me check the real grade it has. Wing gun to Menless Waltz. Do you have any views from behind? Of course not. What kind of product would you show from behind? Hold on, I'm onto something. I'm on some devil time shit. I don't see thrusters. First name Mana, last name Fusion. I am placing a photo in general chat. Gundam chat. Where thruster? This is on my Discord. You look at that and tell me where that bitch flies from. I'm gonna ping you too. I know you're paying attention. I'm gonna ping you. Right? What is this shit? I already hated this design. I hate it double now. Kotoki, you lazy bitch. Alright, let me go to the shop and double check that I am not missing any wings. And that I went through all of them. Should be the 5 boys, their side grades, the Geese, Epion, Leo, and Serpent. That should be all we have in game for wing. That appears to be all we have in game for wing. Who the fuck are you? Someone join my lobby? Thromulus, you look like a worse version of me, but you look cool. Get back here. From Populous Michael, get back here. So I can look at your profile card and give you a good build. Because you made a really interesting version. This is some MS Saga shit right here. Oh, and you have the Lupus Rex tail in a really interesting way. Homie, I don't hate this. I think you look cool. What, like GN particles? So the Death Scythe legs, the Ultron arms, that might be the Wing Zero head, but it might also be Ultron. I can't see if it has got the cheeks. The Sandrock torso, Barbatos Lupus Rex tail, and a really, really good weathering job. Like, genuinely, this shit looks good. Colony Gundam Custom, I like you. You're the coolest person I've seen all day. It's not just something to look cool for the sake of looking cool. There's thought behind it and its colors. There's thought behind its design. It's not just a cheeky reference to something. I really like this. Holy shit. And the TBR to have the TBR, that's fine. Yeah, GM protocols give you, like, no air resistance. Your aerodynamics are fucked. Damn. Romulus, you rule. Let's take a quick look in here and see what we got in the gallery. What is that? Shia? The X finale. Some kind of mess. Honestly, too much is going on. Hainu. This is some personal reference. I'm glad EX is in this game. That's sick. I still don't know how people do these. Okay, so left side is fine. Clearly, that's the Trailblazer poster. Like, with a filter and shit put over it. But how do they do the drawings on the right? I've seen so many of them. How do you get those lines? I don't think you can put a custom background in. It's clearly made from something as per the line shape and the thickness. How do you make those kinds of drawings? Dogi Raggin reverse. Neat. What happened? Where's the image? Was it pornography? Maybe it's pornography. Maybe they're actually doing something about that now. That's a weird looking Jet Wyndham. Yeah. Is that War Greymon? Or is that X-Antibody War Greymon? Oh, it says right down there, dumbass. Yeah, War Greymon X. Oh, that's cute. That's a Landmaster. It's using the IWSP railgun and, I mean, a Zaku tank base, obviously. What exactly is Alex Shield? Is that Alex Shield that has draped across his body? Landmaster. I'm seeing like the vents on the side, and the panels underneath makes me think it's Alex Shield. Not to be confused with the new Alex. That's a cool ambush. That's sick. Take a screenshot of that. That's nice. That's cute. Everyone loves bear guys. Underwater Zaku. He's setting up a shield. I like when they make the dioramas dioramas. By the way, this is a Puru stream. This will not be a play stream. Anyone who decides they need to say play will be asked politely but firmly to leave. Okay. It's a goof. That's kind of nice, actually. Breaking the waves. Yay, people, repair crews. And that must be off the Zaku tank, Green Makaku. They're using the backpack as like a crane off screen. That's cool. Side stories? Yeah, I get it. There's the Gundam and the Gelgoog and the Brow Bro. But, like, why is Bishop there? Look, more tanks! Oh, that's sick. They're doing the takeoff, too. What did you make those out of? Can I get closer to that? See what those tops are made out of? I can almost figure it out. some shit. Them be the scope doggies and the burglar doggies. And they're climbing the mountain. And they got to the mountain. I don't know what's happening here. I don't know what's happening here. There's some OC stuff. Yeah! Default! Let's go! I love default. Not actually pornography, but getting close. Huh. Give that guy a good build. This is a reference to something. It's like they're trying to make a Ghidorah, but they don't have enough heads. Yeah! Shadow Fox, Black Getter, AC3 guy? That's 3, right? That's the last Raven? I'm looking at the last Raven, right? It's not Strayed. I'd be embarrassed if that was Strayed. Either way, Shadow Fox and Black Getter, saving this shit. Yeah? Something here I'm not getting. But I like what you did with the mother funnel. Woundwort legs, turn A body. Tall geese. No, Leo arms. Got a bug for a hat. Some kind of capybara. No way. It's Mr. Almazio. Rejoice. I don't think that conveys looking down the satellite cannon as well as I think it does. Good effort. Rejoice. Oh, they do the whole thing? Oh, he's even transforming. Okay, he's even transforming. Well, ain't that neat? But shouldn't the ride watches be on like the other side because he flips them? And we're back to the start. People make such cool stuff. Genuinely, I always enjoy looking at that every session. I stopped grinding missions, but we're still a top 40 clan. Good for us. Not much of a difference either. Truthfully, if we got everyone we could together to actually grind all the missions out, we would be very high. But as it is, I don't think anyone but me and maybe one or two other people have actually gone back and did the alternate difficulties. But all things considered, even if it is just me and like 2 other dudes, 44 out of everyone. That's pretty good. Also, out of curiosity, what's the current part rankings? It's still Lupus Rex. Oh, Lupus Rex has overtaken Sentinel. Interesting. Quanta Body still. No longer Strike Freedom. Destiny's still the arms. I don't think that's ever going to change. They're too useful. Strike Freedom legs, that makes sense. Backpack Strike Freedom, yep. Man, that's a gap, too. That is a disgusting gap. And keep in mind, Grandpa's here at a baseline, because everyone runs missions as Grandpa at the start, because you're forced to. Long-range atomic bazooka, who could have guessed? Short range is probably still going to be extra large mace. Yep. Basic beam saber is catching up, but extra large mace is just too extra large. Now, is basic beam saber catching up because there's that many more people starting the game but not progressing? Interesting thought. And then shield is, big surprise, the nuke shield. By an absolutely unbelievable, staggering lead. Holy shit. Okay, well, I'm going to take all these clips, and I'm going to have some lunch and a shower, and I'm going to put them all together into a video, just like I did the last one. Except this time, instead of, God, it bothers me so much seeing its back now. It bothers me so much seeing it has no thrusters. This time, instead of being Origin and Thunderbolt, we're going to look through all of Wing, and I should put that out today or tomorrow. Thanks, guys, for hanging out, as usual. I know I didn't schedule this one, but you still showed up anyway, suckers. You be excellent to each other. And I think I'm going to have some fun with this particular series. Just with doing what I can to learn what I can. This is also more or less going to replace my trivia thing I wanted to do, where I want to say one fun fact about every kit. Because I can still talk about the fun facts about every kit, but now there's an overall grander purpose to it. I'm recycling. Be great, guys. You're awesome. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.